banks. Let's bring in that feed and go live there. And for those that are watching and listening, you can watch this segment on our Facebook pages. It's WMOM or Hot Country Hits. We're streaming it live on YouTube as well on your smart devices like your Amazon Alexa, your Google Home, and of course at WMOM.FM, hotcountryhits.com. Patrick, you know about technology. I keep seeing it, and you're doing well. Every time you come in, I'll probably ask you to give us an update on how things are going at Safe Harbor Credit Union as the new marketing director there. What's going on there?
Going really well.
Okay.
I just got back from a conference in Grand Rapids on marketing, lending, and compliance, and there's a lot of talk about Gen Z and how we can get a lower average age of our members for the future, and how we can market to Gen Z. So now we're going to be looking into advertising on Spotify as well, and we're going to be advertising more on YouTube. I'm going to be posting more long-term videos on financial literacy on our YouTube page. So I think that'll be good content for everybody.
Yeah, absolutely. And you find that you do need to reach different generations using different tools and methods and such, right?
Yep. Every generation gets their media different.
It is like older gentlemen like Adam Judd. No, I'm just kidding. I'm sorry. I'm just kidding.
It is funny because we do have a lot of people that still come through the lobby, which a lot of institutions, whether you're a bank or credit union, I think they're seeing their lobby traffic go down. Ours, not so much. We do have a lot of members that love to come through the lobby. So, try to market to them because they're obviously probably not in Facebook or Spotify or social media. So, we've got to find ways to market to them where maybe it's different things in our lobby, whether it's paper things on the window, on the board, or on our TVs. So it's a unique challenge to market to all these various types of people.
Absolutely. And this morning we're going to be talking about differences as well when it comes to credit unions versus banks. You've also got your annual meeting that's coming up. But Adam, you bring up a very good point, is that when Facebook, now this was before your time, Patrick. No, I'm just kidding. But when Facebook came out, it was the rage among so many different age groups, especially the younger side of it. Now, as you continue, Facebook kind of is more of the older generation Facebook, and it's sort of like MySpace. I mean, do you know? Have you ever heard of MySpace at all?
I have not used it, but I've heard of it.
Okay, there you go. Just checking. Adam, did you have MySpace at all?
I did not have a page. I don't believe.
All right. And I might have had one that's still out there somewhere. I don't know. But let's talk about the generations, the differences when it comes to credit unions versus banks with a team from Safe Harbor Credit Union this morning. And Patrick, you've been at Safe Harbor for more than a month now, right?
Yep.
Couple months.
Coming up on 2 months.
It's fantastic. Let's talk about what you've learned in regards to those differences. Did you start out in life as your money saved in a bank and not even thinking about credit unions? What's your thoughts?
My grandpa was actually working at the school district, the Ludington Area School District, and because of that, my grandmother had got me a credit union account at the school credit union, and I still have an account there, and
That's cool.
have for years. And so that was how I first learned about credit unions, and the way it was explained to me is that the main difference between credit unions and banks is ownership and governance. Credit unions are not-for-profits where banks are for-profit. Credit unions are owned and operated by their members, and each member gets a vote in electing the board of directors. This democratic approach to banking ensures that we stay focused on serving the interests of our members rather than maximizing profits. Because banks are for-profit, their goal is to maximize profits for their shareholders, and this could lead to higher interest rates for their customers, higher fees, and no voice in their financial institution, really. Whereas for credit unions,
No, go ahead.
Whereas for credit unions, the profits are returned to members in the form of higher interest rates on deposit accounts, lower fees, in our case, no fees for our checking accounts, and lower loan rates.
Wow, I'm impressed just listening to this already. Well, and you brought up some very good points in regards to making sure that, well, the members are represented. And we do it when we vote in November, when we vote in elections and everything else, local and city and government and federal. And you can kind of relate that a little bit with the members and a credit union structure, right?
Yeah, credit unions are truly American.
There you go. It's not too bad. Adam, when you listen to him talk about how well he has retained information like this, it's pretty
You would
impressive.
think been here for you'd think he's been here longer than me. I've been
Yeah.
here for 10 years at the credit union, so he's doing very well.
Yeah. And do you have anything to add to that in regards to those differences? Because you've been at Safe Harbor Credit Union for how long now?
10 years.
10 years, okay.
And I think it's just key. We've got elected 7 board members elected by our membership. They're all members, and a lot of them have been members for quite a while. So it's just good having them in that boardroom, and we have a monthly meeting every month, and just saying, what are we doing wrong? What are we missing? Is there something we need to offer our membership that we're not? So it's just good getting feedback from truly members that bank with us every day.
Patrick, when it comes to that member input, what have you been able to observe or even seen implemented at Safe Harbor Credit Union because of that member input? Care to share that with us this morning?
Sure. So we've heard a lot of talk from our members about financial literacy. I think all of us know that there was a gap in the population that kind of missed on financial literacy in their schools. It just wasn't taught. So we've heard from our members that they would like to hear more on financial literacy, and because of this, we have been going out to the schools and speaking to students. I'm going to be posting more content on our YouTube for financial literacy, and that's there's been a lot of talk at Safe Harbor about more financial literacy. So that's one thing I've noticed.
That's fantastic. Do you see that when the teller is there interacting with the guests and the customers? We talked about lobby traffic. Do you see that the guest or the customer there at Safe Harbor, they're able to embrace the different apps and technology and everything that you're able to provide them as services and more importantly tools when it comes to the credit union?
Yeah, yep. Our members, they have full access to all of our tools for that, and we want to make it easier for our members to engage with these tools, and we want to make it more aware to our members that these tools are out there. So that's also in progress. That's one of my goals.
Do you think that when it comes to perception, so I know, Adam, you were in a while back talking about this, about having the single location of Safe Harbor Credit Union, but the multi-locations when you're able to, and tell me the term again, who's got it first?
Just shared branching
Thank
network.
you. I appreciate it. I knew it. That you can access your account, like if you were walking into Safe Harbor Credit Union. Do you think that it's going to be a long road to get people to understand that a bank and a credit union have those benefits? The credit union has those benefits just like a bank, if you want to say it that way. Do you think it's still a tough road to achieve that perception? Does that make sense a little bit?
Yeah.
I think so. I think we still get that a lot. Oh, I didn't know Safe Harbor did mortgage loans, or I didn't know Safe Harbor did commercial loans. Well, I didn't know Safe Harbor offered commercial business deposit account. So I think a lot of people just feel that we can't offer the same products or services that banks do, which we do. There's some products or services we don't quite offer that we're potentially working on. But in terms of lending, we've full service lending with commercial, consumer, residential mortgage loans. So that's something that we do that a lot of our members or people in the community don't realize that we offer.
What about that same staying on that topic? When it comes to the again interest rates that we can get, can a credit union be competitive up against a bank? Can that happen?
Definitely on the commercial side, I know our commercial lender Brian Pyra. He'll talk to some members, and they might be thinking about refinancing with us, and also maybe refinancing with another institution. And generally, our rates are always right there, possibly a little bit lower. And same on the residential mortgage side, where we're very competitive with that as well. So I think people think that we can offer lower rates than maybe a bank, but they just don't think they realize that we have as many loan products out there that a bank might.
All right.
They might also not realize that if you're in Michigan, you can be a member at Safe Harbor Credit Union. I'm sure a lot of people out there aren't aware of that. You could speak more to that, Adam.
It just, Safe Harbor Credit Union started as Dow Employees Credit Union, so a lot of people felt like they could only be a member if they worked at Dow or now Oxy, or if they were related to somebody that worked there. But now, as long as you have a heartbeat and a social security number, and you live in the state of Michigan, work in the state of Michigan, you qualify to be a member.
All right, good information there. For both of you, as we kind of wrap up the segment, unless we miss anything that we should make sure that when it comes between banks and credit unions, that we want to make sure that we tell the listeners. But what's the one thing that stands above the rest for you? It might be different for Adam, but what's the one thing that stands above the rest for you when it comes to trying to encourage people to say, look at a credit union. What out of all the benefits, the interest rates, the loan services, the services in general, what is the one thing?
It's how you're treated as a member. We call them members because they're members of Safe Harbor, whereas at a bank, they're customers and they're more seen as customers. But as a member, you walk into Safe Harbor Credit Union, all the tellers, and they know your name. Everybody knows your name here. It's very personal service. You can talk to us about anything really, and we'll make sure that we find the right fit for you.
Okay. All right. Good information. Adam, same question.
I think, and I guess this isn't a pitch for credit unions over banks. It's more of a pitch for community financial institutions, where I think it's important, where a lot of people might go online for mortgage applications or other services, and a lot of them are very easy to navigate through, and hopefully our online process are very easy to navigate through as well. But if you go online for different services, I think a lot of people won't have any issues with it, but in a time when maybe the economy takes a downward turn and maybe you lose your job, maybe your pay gets cut and you run into a kind of financial bind, it's always good to be able to come where you can go into an institution, sit down across the table and talk to somebody and say, hey, I need help. I can't afford my mortgage right now. I can't afford my car. What can you do to help me out? Where if you're banking someplace where you've got to go online, then maybe now call an 800 number. It's very difficult to talk to somebody that maybe understands your situation or maybe is going to be sympathetic towards your situation. So I think it's always important to be able to have an opportunity to go and in person talk to somebody, sit across the table, and have them listen to your story. Because it's I think it's easier for us to help people when you're sitting across the table. But if someone's struggling, they've got to call 800 number. I think you're going to find it tougher and tougher to get the help you need.
Yeah, absolutely. And we had a situation like that just last week, a friend of mine, and it was, and you know how when you pick up the phone and somebody's, you call somebody and you can tell in their voice that something's wrong, right? Yeah, and this happened just last week. Called one of our friends, and you could tell instantly, without him explaining anything. And I said, "Well, okay, what's going on?" And this happened. Which I didn't. I guess I knew in the back of my mind that you can sign up for different credit cards with online companies. Some of these, there's so many companies that are popping up that are offering their own credit cards, right?
And they make it very, very easy for you to apply and get approved.
Exactly. Well, this happened just last week. He logged into his account and he had a fraudulent moment. $4,000 was pulled from his account. $4,000 was gone, and the struggle in the conversation wasn't necessarily. The $4,000 was gone, obviously, but the majority of the struggle in his voice and was because he spent hours on the phone with that institution trying to figure it out, and they had no solution for them, and that happens.
And if you've got to call multiple times, you could get a different person each time and tell that person from the beginning what happened. So I think that's why I'm just a big fan of community financial institutions where you can go in and sit down and talk to somebody face to face.
Absolutely, absolutely. And we know that members are protected in most cases. You're going to investigate that. You can that conversation is there. But Patrick, we'll leave the last message to you this morning, if we don't mind, in regards to the credit union versus banks, but also transition into the annual meeting as well. Can you do that for us today?
Yeah. So for our members, we have our annual meeting coming up April 17th at Lincoln Hills Golf Club. Doors will open up at 5:30. We have exciting prizes coming out. Last year we had a grill. That was one of them. We also will be serving dinner, beverages, and it'll be a fun event. So go to safeharborcu.org to RSVP for your tickets to the annual meeting.
All right, that's coming up again. Remind us of the date.
April 17th.
Okay, good. And you can become a member for $5, right?
$5.
$5. I think that's incredible. Anything that we missed talking about this morning?
I don't think so.
Okay, Patrick, same
I
thing?
think we're good.
All right. We appreciate both of you coming in. A great segment to look at the differences between banks and credit unions. And the biggest part of this conversation is that, taking that step to sit down with one of the Safe Harbor Credit Union associates to just ask those questions. I think that starts the ball rolling, right? Or go to the website, see the services, but say, hey, I've been banking here for a long time. I'm thinking about changing. And that doesn't necessarily, by the way, doesn't have to be a headache to change from one financial institution to another, right?
It can definitely be daunting to make that switch, but we've got a lot of people willing to help out. Because you probably have a lot of automatic payments or deposits coming in, and we can try to make that switch as easy as possible for you by doing a lot of the legwork for you.
All right, great information there, Adam, Patrick. We always appreciate both of you coming into the studio, and thanks for being a part of it and helping educate us this morning. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Chris.
Thank you.
You got it. If you missed any of this segment, you can watch it on our YouTube or our Facebook pages, and you can do that at Mom FM or Hot Country Hits, as well as our